Hello again, I am Blunty. Obviously, I wear glasses, so when I got my MetaQuest 3, I ordered a set of prescription lens inserts from the official partner brand for such things, Zenni. Because having prescription lens inserts inside your VR headset is so much better than trying to wear your glasses inside the headset for several reasons, which I've gone over in the past, including comfort, including these lenses not touching lenses inside the VR headset and scratching them up, which is a very real risk. I've seen pictures of that happening to people, and no thank you. That's an expensive mistake. Anyway, Zenni are an online provider and regular prescription eyewear that I've used before in the past, so I was pretty confident in their quality. They were relatively inexpensive, had fast international shipping, and if you missed my full review of them, they work very, very nicely, and I can and do recommend them. But they're not the most convenient solution for every user, which is where VRROC comes in. They've also been around for a bunch of years, specializing in prescription optical inserts for a wide range of VR headsets and AR glasses and XR glasses for that matter. Unlike Zenni, VRROC are a specialist in this particular field of VR, AR, XR prescription inserts. And what makes their product stand apart from the Zenni ones is these are available with a magnetic attachment design. So there's a base ring that pressure fits on the headset itself around the lenses, just like the Zennis do, but then the actual lenses themselves magnetically snap onto those. So then naturally comes the question, why would this design be better for some people? Well, one of the main reasons is if you share your VR headset with a spouse or a housemate or a family member, whatever, obviously your prescription is not going to work for them. Maybe they need their own prescription, maybe they don't need glasses at all. So being able to take out your prescription inserts easily and fast free will be kind of important to you in that case. And popping on or off a magnetically attached lens is infinitely less wear and tear than pushing on and pulling off a clutch fit ring that relies on physical friction to stay in place. You do that enough times and eventually it's going to start wearing out and not fit quite as well. It's just the way that works. A nice little side benefit as well, the magnetically attached ones make it very, very easy to pop them off and clean them properly as well. So that's nice. Actually, that does need a clean. Now, aside from the magnets, the VRROC product also has little pins and sockets to help with alignment. But these are extremely small and very, very fragile, and mine came with one of the pins broken off already. That's less than encouraging. But in reality, in use, I didn't find them all that necessary, actually. The magnets alone seem more than capable of keeping the lenses in place and correctly aligned, which is extremely important, even in quite active use. They're quite light, there's very little inertia to them, so even when you're jumping around, they don't tend to slide around of their own accord. The magnets are strong enough to keep them in place when you're doing that sort of stuff. The frames are also stamped with L and R, which is nice, but as the lens surround is non-symmetrical anyway, it's already pretty hard to put these things on the wrong side, but it's always a nice detail to have that on these type of lenses, because just in case you get it mixed up or someone else gets it mixed up, they don't know how these things work and they try and jam it on the wrong one. It's nice to be able to just go, look, there's the L. L for loser, dummy. Now, the lenses, due to the fact they consist of a base and a frame, inherently and unavoidably are thicker than the standard snap-on lenses that I've been using so far. And I did worry that this could cause the need to further adjust the face gasket out a little more to accommodate them without my sort of eyelashes brushing up against the inside of the lens, which I find very distracting. And it is something I've talked about in my original Zenni review as well. But it seems, at least for me and my eyelashes, the fractional extra thickness was perfectly fine for me without any further adjustments at all, which is great because that meant my field of view, both vertically and horizontally, were not reduced or affected at all, indeed. So that was a relief. Perhaps most vitally, of course, the optical quality is very, very good. There's no flaws or errors in the prescription, in the axis. Oh man, sorry, looking through this lens and my other glasses at the same time, that was not a good thing to do. I think I'm all right. I'm fine. That was weird, man. It's like wearing someone else's glasses. Where was I? Right, the axis of my prescription aligns perfectly, and the clarity is perfect. Let's not do that again. In short, I am very happy with the lens quality. I get a perfectly clear, strain-free view across the full field of view, and have noticed no additional optical artifacting when it comes to reflections or bloom or other aberrations and the like. Now, I can't say I was that impressed with their shipping speed. It took about 7 weeks from when I spoke to VRROC about the review sample and confirmed my prescription to them to actually having these things arrive. But from what I've seen online of normal customers, it seems pretty fine usually. The shipping is pretty standard. And again, they have been doing this for many, many years now, so it's hard to imagine that my experience with shipping is the standard expectation. It's still something I need to mention though, because it's something I experienced and you might experience perhaps. But yeah, usually it seems fine. They also arrived fairly well packed, not heavily padded, but they did come in a semi-rigid zip closed case, which itself was inside a fairly robust cardboard box. So I don't see a high likelihood of shipping damage. Although now that I say that out loud, mine did arrive very slightly damaged, didn't they? With that missing locator pin, the very most fragile part on these things. I don't know. And of course, the zip case makes a very good way to store the lenses when not in use. I have in fact used this exact kind of case for my camera lens filters for years and years now, and they've protected those superbly. That's what this is. This is not something bespoke that VRROC have made. They've just put their badge on something that has existed for decades now for camera users. Which is good, because they didn't need to reinvent anything. We already know this design works to protect fragile optics, so hooray. In any case, I'm overall very satisfied with their quality and their use. Just yesterday, before recording this, I spent 8 hours straight in VR doing some final testing for that buff-ass external battery review I've been promising you for a couple of weeks now. And I've had absolutely no eye strain afterwards. Well, I mean, I was in VR for 8 hours, so my eyes were tired. So what I mean is, of course, if the prescription and fit was anything less than perfect, I would have experienced strain, discomfort, general headache, that kind of thing, but I didn't. So that's probably the best indicator of the quality of these lenses, how securely they fit and stay fitted correctly with the magnetic attachment, even with one of those locator pins missing on one of these. So, can recommend, happily recommend, in fact, but do make sure you're subscribed here and maybe hold off ordering for a few more days after this video is first published. Because sometime this week, possibly today, I'm expecting a delivery of another review sample of another brand who does the magnetic lens thing. Theirs are noticeably more expensive, but will they be worth the extra price? I don't know. I'm going to find out. That's the whole point of a review, I guess. So sub, bell and whatnot to make sure you see that. But if you've been hovering over that buy now button for the VRROC, you're happy with everything else, I can happily tell you they're a solid product, and I would personally happily use them again for my own personal uses. So that's as much endorsement as I can give it, I suppose. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty. I'll catch you next time. Thank you as always to the patrons scrolling up above there. I tell you what though, that 8 hours in VR I spent yesterday, I was in a world where you could fly around by flapping your arms, like literally flapping and flying around. It was terrific fun. But that's not a function. That's not something I do very often. So. My biceps and my shoulders are aching today. Oh, I'm gonna go stretch.